going to be great. And we're going to talk about the things that you have to avoid failure in financial services. There's four things that I've come up with looking at my own financial services career, 25 years. I started as a career changer. We'll talk about that a little bit maybe. Four things you must have, must have to avoid failure in financial services. By the way, I was talking to a colleague the other day. This is extra. I'm not charging you for this. I was talking to a colleague the other day. She will remain nameless, but I will say this about her. She is the head of one of the centers over at the American College that gives out the CFP and the CHFC and all those designations. So she knows what she's talking about. And she was telling me about a presentation from a big company that came in to let them know, and this all goes into the failure rate that I was about to say, and avoiding failure. It's the theme of what we're talking tonight. She said that they did a presentation and said that the financial services industry, get this, contracted by 2% last year. 1.9 to be exact. So you might naturally go, well, Dominique, you're always talking about how we need really great advisors, and we do. But let me tell you the dynamics that's happening, such is that we, as an industry, shrunk by almost 2% last year. This is what happened. Firms that have been in the industry for a while, have done well, have been successful, they are now cashing in on private equity money, buying out that firm. They're leaving, they're hanging it up, they're cashing a check, and there's more, and retiring and dying and a lot of different things. There's more people doing that in the financial services industry than people coming in the door. Now, how many people are coming in the door, Dominic? Just to give you an idea about this. The Bureau of Labor Statistics said that for the next 10 years, we'll have about 25,000 people coming in the door. My friend at this presentation told me that at the presentation, they said that we have a shortage of 700,000 bodies that we need in the financial services industry. 700,000 bodies. That's a lot of people. And so that's why tonight I thought it befitting to talk about how do you avoid failure? Because some firms bring you in, and in less than 12 months, you're right back out doing something else because you didn't make it. How do you avoid that? That's what we're going to talk about tonight, okay? So strap in. This is going to be fun. We should have some time for Q&A. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. No, I'm not going to sing for y'all. But I have a lot of stuff to cover because, again, I've been ruminating on the challenge that is happening next week, Monday through Friday. This is what I'll say. Let me just go ahead and just say this. I'm going to give you a chance right now. If you're sitting here, why aren't you registered for the challenge? Go ahead and register for the challenge. It's going to be great. 5 days of me. That should be enough alone. But we're going to talk about so many things. We're going to talk about all my frameworks. We're going to give you an opportunity to level up, to leave your circle of sameness, the mediocre mini, to join the fantastic few. We give you a chance to do all those things in the challenge. So you've got to do yourself a favor and join us for the challenge. Okay. So I'm gonna put the link up. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put the link up now, and then we'll talk about this a little bit later, exactly how to get in and do everything, just in case. But like, you might have to go. You can't stay for the whole thing, and so therefore, and if you're watching this on the replay, you'll have until midnight tonight. The replay should be up in maybe an hour or so after I'm done, so you'll be able to do that. Okay. All right, so let's get into this. Now, where do we start? So, many of you don't know that I am actually a career changer. Let's define career changer. A career changer is someone that is doing something other than financial advising, and then they start doing financial advising. So, I was in financial services. I was working for a hedge fund, and I was doing operational analyst, data analyst stuff. All right. I did that for 8 years. And then I started down the path of financial services, more client facing stuff after that. Okay. So I'm telling you this because there are career changers out there that have skills that you've developed over a career. You've done things well. You've gotten paid for it. People have looked to you for your expertise. You were maybe a go-to person in your organization. Like you've done some things. You've made some money. And a lot of the frameworks, a lot of the skill stack that you have developed is useful in financial advice giving. But, this is a big but, you have to know how to pivot and transition those skills. Can I get a witness? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Like, Dominique, I have skills from a prior career, but I just don't know how they fit into financial services. Has anybody said that before? Thumbs up or yes in the chat. Okay, so that's what I want to show you. Now, I can't show you everything. That's why you need to be in the challenge, because in the challenge next week, I'm going to show you how to do all that, how to pivot. But I'm going to give you the 4 must-haves that you have to do tonight. I'm going to give you the 4 must-haves in order for you to take the skills that you had in the career change or in the prior career that you had, and in the change, pivot them so that you're marketable to financial services firms that need these 700,000 people over the next 10 years. Okay? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Now, yes, Sam, I will get to those wanting to go independent, like launch your own RIA, okay? But let me finish this first. So when I was career changing, the very first time, I didn't do this right. So there's a caveat for you guys. Like, you don't have to be like, well, I've blown it already. Like, I didn't do it the first time. This is what I did the first time. But this is why I call it a skill stack instead of a skill set. It could be a skill set, but a skill stack means like you have this, let's call it elementary skill on the bottom. And then you layer that with an intermediate skill. Then you layer that with a skill that's more than the intermediate. Let's say it's high school level. Then you layer that with a college. You're still stacking on the same skill. You're just expanding your knowledge and your understanding on how to do it, right? It's not just knowledge, book knowledge. You're actually now knowing how to synthesize things and come up with different solutions, because you know not only the what, but you know the why and the how behind the what. That's what I'm talking about, okay? So when I first left the hedge fund, to be really honest, I probably watched too many episodes of Flip That House. I'm dating myself here. This is a show back in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, and I tried my hand at real estate, and it was okay, but it wasn't like I'm not doing it now. Let's put it that way. So, but I learned a lot about myself as a career changer, really as an entrepreneur. I learned a lot of interpersonal skills, dealing with people, contractors, the whole nine. And then that was about a 2.5 year-ish type of deal. So now that puts me around 2008, 2009, which is when I started going back. I mean, you're probably like, dang, during the crisis? Yes, that's when I did. I got my licenses, life, health, Series 66, Series 7, all in 90 days, start working for a broker-dealer. Long story short, didn't have a home for that book of business in about 18 months because they got bought. And then I found myself working for an RIA here in Dallas around 2010-ish. Stayed there to 2016. 2016 launched DJH Capital Management, and really the rest is history. I want to give you that story is because you can see all those pivots I had, all those switches. And every time I switched, I learned a different skill to stack on what I already knew. That's very important for you. And so what I want you to do right now, if you're listening, is I want you to kind of go back through your resume, and I want you to draw out the things that you learned at XYZ job that was a skill that you carried over to the next job. Because that's going to be very important for this exercise at the end of this live today, okay? You have skills. You might even have more than, one primary. You might have like a couple things that you do really well, okay? So, here's the first must-have. This begins the list. This is the very first must-have in order to avoid failure. By the way, there is they quote 72% failure rate for people in their, let's say, 0 through 3rd year in financial services. So let's just call these all newbies. I think it's higher than that. I think it's something like 9 out of 10, probably in the high 90s. It's really ridiculous. And there's a couple of reasons we probably don't have to get into that, but there's a couple of reasons why what contributes to that. But the things that you can control are the 4 things that I'm about to give you that are must-haves right now to avoid failure. Okay? So the very first thing you need to have, must-have to avoid failure in financial services is you have to have a why. Not having a why will spell failure. Let me say that again. Not having a why, a reason why you're here, a good reason why you're here, why you're trying to become a financial advice giver, why you are trying to sit in the sacred seats of advice giving, why you are trying to help people change their family trees. That needs to be a very good reason, okay? Now, let me tell you some reasons that aren't very good, and then we'll go into the ones that are good. One of the reasons that I hear career changers use for becoming a financial services professional is they want to help people. That's great. So do dentists, so do nurses, so do school teachers. The list goes on and on. Now, can your why be that you want to help people? Yes, it can. Absolutely. Mine is. But can we double click on that and make it a little bit more expansive? Like, I want to help people. Okay. That's never going to attract a client, by the way. And it's probably not going to even get you a second round of interviews. But if you say something like, I love seeing generational wealth be able to be created by great family tree changing financial advice. That's why I'm in this industry, because I want to see people transform with the type of advice that I give them, whether it's buying their first home or getting out of debt or sending their kids to college or retiring or spending more time with their family or whatever your thing is that you say. But you've got to have a really, really powerful why in order to stay motivated, let's just say that, through all the things that you're going to have to do in order to be successful in this industry. Taking exams, looking for career opportunities, not getting caught up in the big financial services machine. That's a whole nother podcast. Not compromising on the fiduciary standard once you get into the industry, because there's products and there's all these different things that compete for your attention. Right? Like there's a lot of things here. So all I'm saying is you got to have a really good why. Now, another reason that I hear people say that they want to get in this industry is they want to make a lot of money. Look, I get it. I get it. It's okay. It is okay. But I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not going to make a lot of money at first. You're not going to make a lot of money at first. And if that's the reason, you're going to be discouraged because it's going to take some time for you to transition the skills that you have from previous career and transform them into something that is usable and valuable and people and something that people will pay for before you start making money. So that's not a good why either. Another good why is not I'm just tired of doing what I was doing before. Like it's just wearing me out. Like I just can't stand XYZ, whatever. That's not good either. We need to center our why, and this is key. Listen to this. Your why needs to be, it's like I recently heard Deion Sanders speak, and what he said is, what's the rabbit you're chasing? So what he was saying is, where he's from in Florida, they have dog tracks. And I know, forgive me, this is a very inhumane type of thing I'm about to say, but hopefully you'll get it. There's dog tracks, and the greyhounds run around the track. Well, how do they get them to run around the track? Well, they put this little mechanical bunny rabbit right in front of them, and when the gun sounds or they let them out the gate, the rabbit goes down and they chase the rabbit, this mechanical rabbit that's going around this circle. And that's their motivation for running around in circles with other dogs. Now, I think that's helpful here because your why is like that for you. It's like, what rabbit are you chasing? What's the rabbit you're chasing? What's going to get you up in the morning when you're sitting for the November CFP exam for the third time? What's going to cause you to study during those 3 months of preparation? When you have failed the 65 by 1 point the last 3 times you've taken it, what's going to get you up for that 4th time to go to Prometric, sit in the chair, and take that exam? That's your why. I don't know what it is for you. During the challenge next week, I'm going to help you with a formula on how to figure it out. But whatever it is, you have to get that, and it has to be like right in front of your face, literally, maybe. Like, I know that when I started my firm 8 years ago, I had some mantras that I wrote down and read for the very first 6 months of my every day. Every day I got up, came in here, I read that list because I needed to get it in my ethos, what I was trying to do here, and that I could not have anything that was going to stop me. So that was my why. What's your why? That's what you got to have. Okay. That's the first must have. Okay. The next must have is a tribe. These are your peeps. These are the people that are hanging with you. This is your study group, your mastermind, whatever you want to call them. These are the people that are walking the path with you. You can't walk this path alone. You walk this path alone, you will be eaten up by wolves. You can't walk this path alone. You need a mentor. You need, at a minimum, you need a mentor. What you really ideally need is a handful of guys and gals that are about at your same stage. So let's just say you guys are all career changing at the same time. Here's an example. When I started my business back in 2016, I was a fee-only advisor for the very first 2 years-ish. And there's an organization called the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors, or NAPFA. NAPFA had a regional, I don't think it was regional, I take that back. It was, well, they did have regional, but I signed up for the virtual one, the online one. So what they did is they got about 6 of us, 5 to 6 of us at any given time. For the first year, these were entrepreneurs that were in their first year of business. They put us all together. We got to know each other, and we just met every month. We talked about our businesses, what's going right, what's going wrong, what's working, what's not working, just different ideas, workflows for our business to make things more efficient. And it was really helpful. Like, we met on Zoom. And that kind of stuff is the stuff that, if I was there trying to do it, I'm a different bird. I probably would have made it by myself, but it would have been so much harder, right? You need someone, just like a study group. You guys are all studying the same exam. You're quizzing each other on tests. People do this a lot for the CFP exam and other exams. Use that community, that tribe to leverage, there's so many different sayings about this, but basically, they say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to raise a financial professional. You need other people around you that are going to encourage you, that are going to praise you, that are going to kick you in your butt when you're like doing the wrong thing. Like, they're your accountability. They're going to help you. You need a tribe. Can't do this alone. Don't try to do it alone. Okay? Don't try. Do not try. Do not try to do it alone. It's gonna be hard for you. Okay. What is the third thing? And these are kind of in order, by the way. Like, when I was thinking about this, I was like, these layer upon each other, like they build upon each other. Like, if you try to have a tribe without a why, then you might find the wrong people. But if you have your why first, then it will filter down the type of people that you should be hanging around and that you should be gathering to yourself. Let's say that for your tribe. Like, you don't want to just gather anybody. Okay. All right. Next. So, not having a why. Got to have a why. Let's just say this in the positive. Must-haves for avoiding failure in financial services include having your why, having a tribe. Number 3, having a guide, or as I like to call, your own Yoda. You need a Yoda. You need someone to... No, I'm not going to do the Star Wars Yoda voice. All I'm saying is you got to have someone that has walked the path already that can tell you, hey, watch out. In a mile, there is construction. Or duck right now. There's a tree branch about to hit you. Like, hey, avoid that pothole over there. That's what a Yoda is for. They've already walked the path. They've already gotten their CFP and they go, dude, if you try to do this without a review program, you're probably going to fail. Go ahead and purchase a review program. Do everything they said to do. Go into a cave for 90 days and you should pass on the first time. Like, somebody can tell you that, a Yoda that's done that already. So you need a guide. Not having a guide, nominally, in the short term, it might be cheaper, but in the long term, it's going to cost you more time and money. It just works out like that. Because here's the deal. When you have a guide, you get to leverage not only what you're learning, but you get to leverage what they have learned. What they have paid for with blood, sweat, and tears, they get to tell you, so you get to avoid having to pay that toll of blood, sweat, and tears. You know, my great aunt, when she was alive, she used to have this saying. She was like, baby, sometimes the best lesson is about lesson. This is the only time, and I love my aunt, respect her. This is the only time where that does not apply. You do not want to earn and pay for every lesson on your way to becoming a financial services professional. You do not want to. It's too expensive. Don't do that. Find a Yoda. Find a guide that will help you through these things, that will share their experiences. Most metropolitan cities have a large metropolitan cities have an financial planning association chapter, FPA chapter. And chapter events include going to a Rangers game if you're here in Texas, right? Where there are members of the Financial Planning Association that have been in business, that are successful, that are CFPs, that are whatever, that you can just, in a relaxed setting, pay for your Rangers ticket and hang out with other financial professionals that have been in the business. You can ask them questions, not only about the Rangers and the game, but you can ask questions about their business. Why did they get into business? What type of clients do they work with? What have been their challenges? What do they recommend about professional development? Just the whole nine. You can do that. That is not, it's not a free membership, but it's well worth it than going to try to figure everything out. Like, I know I have a lot of stuff on YouTube, a lot of videos, but I don't have every answer in the videos. Like, I definitely, it can't suffice from a human to human good old conversation either. So, find a Yoda. Find a Yoda. Matter of fact, when you find your tribe, they may be able to suggest a Yoda. I have gotten coaching clients in Jumpstart from people that found a tribe within Jumpstart, and then they pulled other people in and they said, hey, you need to go talk to Dominique because he can help you with XYZ. So I would say when you pick a good tribe because you had a good why, you will probably find a good guide or a Yoda. That's just how that works. Okay? Everybody tracking with me? We only got one more. So, must-haves for avoiding failure in financial services include, say it with me, having a why, having a tribe, having a guide, and number 4, having the skills. We can't avoid not having the know-how. We can't avoid competency. Now, there are different levels of competency that we'll go through right now. This is one of my frameworks, but I just want to walk through it real quick. So, when we're talking about competency, we're talking about how well you know the thing that you're supposed to be doing. That's my definition for competency. How well do you know the thing you're supposed to be doing? The thing I'm supposed to be doing is financial advice. How well do I know it? Do I need financial software and, all these doohickeys to do stuff? Or can you just give me, a computer, a laptop, and a Google sheet? A Google Doc to calculate somebody's financial plan. Yes, I could. I could do it without that. I've just been doing this for so long. So, what I'm saying is competency, and we're going to walk through it, is going to make a lot of sense. Like why a 2-year financial planning associate is a financial planner, and I'm in the game for as long as I am. I'm a financial planner. What's the gap? Skills. That's the gap. We're doing the same job, theoretically, but skills. Like, I've seen so many cases when clients start talking about what their need is or their problem is, I'm diagnosing while the other person is still taking notes. So, how do we get there? Well, the first stage of what I will call mastery, wisdom mastery, let's call it mastery, and the term I used earlier, competency. How well you know how to do the thing that you're supposed to do is a stage that we all have to pass through, even yours truly, and that is ignorance. Ignorance is just the absence of truth. You don't know what you don't know. Like, before you started riding a bike or tying your shoes, you didn't know how to. You were ignorant. Truth, the how-to of tying your shoes, riding your bike, doing a financial plan, is just, it's nowhere in your brain. It's not there. Like, what you had to do is you had to have somebody, a Yoda or guide, show you how to ride a bike, show you how to tie your shoes, show you how to create a financial plan. And then it started to, be pieced in there. And so then we have the next stage, which is called knowledge. You start getting knowledge. It's just, now we're having the accumulation of truth, just facts and data. We don't know where they go. We're just collecting them right now. That's kind of what knowledge is. Like, you can be sitting in a classroom learning something. Let's say you're in a CFP review course and they're dumping a lot of knowledge on you. It's not truth necessarily for you. Not right now. You're just accumulating. You're like picking up stuff and putting it here. And you're like, man, I'll figure this out later. But let me just write these notes down. You're accumulating knowledge. And that's good. You have to go down this path. It's better than the previous path or the previous step, which was ignorance. Like, you've moved from ignorance, the absence of truth, to the application of truth, which is knowledge. Okay? Well, the next stage would be understanding, which is, we'll use a big word, assimilation of truth, which is just knowing where to put stuff, right? So you go past not just the what's of everything, because that's what knowledge is. It's the what. It's not necessarily the why or how. That's not what it is. Like, for instance, we know there are 7 stages to financial planning, create a financial plan. But why are those stages in the order that they are in? And if a client comes to you with a situation that is not, or that is atypical, is it okay to skip a step or to modify a step? See, knowledge won't get you there to that answer. Understanding gets you closer to that. Assimilation, right? Where you're able to kind of move around things and kind of see, okay, I see why they have this second step there. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's you're being a little bit more, you've got a little bit more familiarity around the entire process. It's that whole notion about how the sausage is made. Like, understanding is getting you closer to how the sausage is made. Okay? Does that make sense? Everybody still with me? Okay. So the final stage that gets us to mastery is what we call wisdom. And that is the application of truth. So now I can take all these details and facts that I have, and I not only know what, I know how and why. I can now start to synthesize different ideas from the knowledge I have that are a little bit off the beaten path. It's off script, if you will. I didn't necessarily learn it in a book. It's just I know so much stuff about all these things that I can now put together solutions that are custom fit for a particular client's problem. Here's a case in point. I don't think he would be listening. I have a client who is about to transition in life. And just not leave life, but what I mean is he's moving. And they're going to get somewhat of a windfall that adds to their portfolio, which changes the game. Like, he has always wanted to retire like early. So he may be able to retire really early. Now, when he gave me all the facts of his case, and I'm not going to belabor the point with all that, but the point is when he gave me all the facts of that, I then started working in my mind based on case study, based on product knowledge I have, based on things that I have access to, people I have access to, conversations I've had about financial planning, retirement planning, all that stuff. That's what started churning in my brain. And then I started to form a fairly elegant solution, like within a couple of hours after that call. I'm just waiting on one call back to verify something from somebody, and that plan will be in place and ready to go with the idea of him retiring 5 years sooner than what he expected. So that's the power in mastery. Because if I was like a first year or a second year, oh man, I would still be churning through that. I probably wouldn't have the case. Like nobody wants to give you $1,000,000 if you don't know what you're doing. A million extra. Like he has more with me. But the point is that first or second year person would be still trying to churn through solutions and maybe even giving them, hey, these 5 solutions here and let's pick through them and let's do the pros and cons. Like I would tell you this, like, so here, I might be stepping on some toes here. I get that that's what the CFP curriculum kind of tells you to do, like weigh out all these options. But we've been doing as long as I can, like as long as I am, like I know the client, I know what they want, I know what is out there, and boom, I have a solution for them. Like we don't got to go through 15 solutions. Like that's a waste of time. We know what he wants. Okay, so that's the beauty in doing that. So ignorance, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Those are the stages of mastery, competence, knowing how to do what you do. That is going to be so key. It's a must-have, these skills. Now, granted, you're not going to get to mastery in your first 3 years. No. What I'm talking about is not mastery of a skill that you don't have because you're a career changer or an aspiring financial professional. Mastery of a skill that you already have. Remember when I told you, go back through your resume and see what skill has been showing up through all your jobs? That's the one you need to have mastery in. Dom, I don't have mastery there. Yes, you do. You're probably not looking at it the right way, though. Right? Got water in my eye. You're probably not looking at it the right way. So, Dom, how do I look at it the right way? Glad you asked. And I'm going to say this, and then I'll have some time for Q&A. And Sam, I appreciate you for hanging out, man. I'm going to get you to your question right now, or right after I say this. Dom, how do I get to a point where I can feel like a master over the skills I already have that I would want to bring into or transition into the financial services industry? You, my friend, are in luck because tomorrow I will be teaching all of my frameworks in the Make the Leap Challenge. What is the Make the Leap Challenge? Well, the Make the Leap Challenge is all about the fact that all of us are at some point in our lives making the leap, even yours truly. We are making the leap. We are leaving comfort zones and moving to things that are unfamiliar to us, whether that be coming into the financial services industry, launching your own firm, leaving a firm, leveling up in a firm, all these things. And what we often find is a fear around leaving our comfort zone. We might not want to label it that, but that's what it is. It's fear of leaving what is comfortable to going someplace or to something that is unfamiliar. And in the Make the Leap Challenge, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how to not only dismantle those fears and the mindsets behind those fears, is I'm going to show you how you can start to develop a why, find your tribe, find a guide, and start using those skills that we just talked about that you mastered in your previous career and transition them into a financial services career. Or transition them into starting your own firm. Or transition them into moving from second chair to first chair or leveling up in the firm that you're already in. That's what the Make the Leap Challenge is about. And you leave an entirely different person, mindset-wise. And you're equipped with tools to conquer your next. That's what the challenge is about. And I would love for you to be there. So let me show you how to get there. Is everybody with me? Ajana, you said that's me. That's me. Let me show you how to do that. Let me show you how to do that, okay? So let me show you the easy way to do that. Is everybody ready? Does everybody have their... So if you're on a phone and you're watching this, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to, like, You're going to have to juggle some things. Are you ready for the juggle? Okay. So what I want you to do is go to this web. Oops, that's the wrong one. Go here and everybody's seeing that at the bottom of the page? It is this website, challenge.jumpstartcoachinglab.com/join. Okay, that's where you're going to go. When you go there, you're going to see a page that, give me a second, I will walk through this with you. Give me a minute. I am going to help you out so much. And then we're going to get to Sam's question, because Sam's been waiting for a very long time. He's so patient. Patience is a virtue. Okay? So this is the page that you should see. See my mug on there, okay? That's where you should be. And you're going to click to make the leap. Now, the way this works, it's a challenge. So it's like a workshop. Every day is building on each day. On the previous day, rather. Okay? So, general admission is $49. VIP is $149. This is what I'm going to tell you. I told somebody else the other day. If you want to be in financial services and you want to be successful and you're not willing to invest in yourself now, don't expect anybody else to either. Don't expect it. Okay? Do not expect other people to take an interest in you, to coach you, to mentor you, to do all these things for you when you have no skin in the game. I consider what you're about to receive, if you've been on this live for even the last 15 minutes, like you're getting 2,000% more of this next week. So, like, if you thought this was a good investment of your time, then next week will be an infinitely great investment for your time. Okay? Yes. So, the VIP experience, and you can read this on the page, but the VIP experience, the difference is you're going to get an extra hour with me. So you get 2 hours with me versus 1 hour. And you get to ask questions. General admission, you just show up in the Facebook group and you listen. And you do the work, okay? The homework. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be real, okay? There is no way any of my friends, I have a lot of them in the financial services, a lot of them own firms and all kinds of stuff. There is no way, there's no universe in which you will binge watch every YouTube video I've ever made and learn everything you need to learn for free. It doesn't work like that. So well, Dom, I got to do this, or I got to work, or man, I got to pay this bill. I know there's things in your budget over the last month that cost more than $49 or more than $149, and they're getting you nowhere towards trying to become a financial services professional. I can guarantee it. I look at so many budgets and people's money, like I can just guarantee it. It is what it is. So don't tell me how desperately you want this and you're not willing to invest in yourself. Just don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it. And none of my friends do either, by the way. That's where I was going with that, okay? So this is how you get there. I want you there. I think it's going to be great for you, okay? So you click either one of these buttons, whichever one suits your fancy. Okay. Now, Sam asked me, can you touch on individuals starting off as independent? That's a very broad question, but I think I know where you're going and I know you're driving. So let me give you kind of what I think is the most ideal situation for someone that wants to start their own firm. In most states, you're going to need at least the Series 65. Okay? Got your Series 65. You can register as a registered investment advisor, your RIA. Okay? Now, the things you're going to want to do, I've talked about this a lot. I'm pretty sure I got at least 3 or 4 videos in the public domain talking about this. But the checklist that I go over during the masterclass is kind of the blueprint. I just gave it away for free. I just know everybody wouldn't want to do that. But I gave it away for free. Like, the blueprint is the blueprint. Like, that's what I used to start my firm. That's what I've used to open up many a firm, okay? But it boils down to doing your research first, right? To me, the compliance part is by far the easiest thing. People do not fail in financial services because they can't open their firm. They fail because they can't get clients. So the best thing for you to do as a new firm owner is to get really dialed in on your answer to this question. Are we ready? Because this is everything. Who are the special group of people with a specific set of problems that I help? That's it. Because all firm owners want these 3 things. They want ideal clients to really be not to find them, but they want their ideal clients to find them. It's okay if you go out and find clients, that's great. But wouldn't it be better if your clients, your ideal prospects found you? Yes, most financial professionals would want that. So you want ideal clients finding you. You want to know how to charge for your services, like optimally charge so that you're profitable. And you want your clients that you do get to stay with you. You want client retention. Those are the 3 things. Like, if you get those 3 things, you'll be golden. Everybody would want that. And so all I'm saying is the key to those 3 things being answered in your business is to find a special group of people with a specific set of problems. And then you go give them what they want. It's not much harder than that. It is not much harder than that. So, I hope that answers your question. Agenai. Is it Agenai? Agenaya? Did you get the link? I just wanted to make sure before I hop off that everybody has what they need. Let's see. I know there's a little delay. That's why I'm waiting. Are you still here, Agenai? Agenaya. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. Good stuff. Well, we would love to see you in the challenge next week. I think it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. The last one was fire. This one's gonna be even more fire. This is what I know. I know that aspiring financial professionals have a lot to offer. Career changers have a lot to offer this industry, especially people coming from. Nothing wrong with doing college, like Ajane. Is that right? Ajane? Did I say it right? Hopefully I did. There's nothing wrong with coming from college in a financial planning program. I know a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people that watch my channel that are like that. They went to, a really great program and they've been studying financial planning and all the things. However, I think that's somewhat limited. I'm reading this book called Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia. And he started out as a medical student, went to Johns Hopkins, got disenfranchised by medicine, left and went to go work at one of the most prestigious consulting firms, McKinsey, as an analyst. Basically, he's a double major, genius type of person. And what he talks about in his book is what I'm about to say is the advantage that career changers have over traditional financial planning students. But what he said is going from med student to consultant, risk consultant, back to doctor gave him so much rich perspective when he finally became a doctor that he has now invented this thing called Medicine 3.0, which is going to help people live longer and stuff. And because he got this different perspective in a different career is the reason why I do what I do for the career changers. Because you bring perspectives that traditional people in this industry don't have because they just been around it too long and they think they know it all. And again, no shade to anybody that's in a financial planning program, but the point is you're learning from someone that has been doing it probably a long time, may or may not have a firm, and their perspective on this industry with all the different things that are changing in the world is limited. It is what it is. But for someone coming from teaching or someone coming from nursing or someone coming from engineering or someone coming from marketing, they don't speak financial jargon. Like they're gonna be like, why are you saying that? What do you mean by that? And they're gonna be asking really great questions that lead to better answers. And so that's the reason why I think career changers are well positioned to do like really, really good in this industry. But here's the caveat: you have to have a really great guide because you will otherwise get tripped up with all the crap that happens in the financial services industry from these really big firms that bring you in to sell their products, churn you out in their sales program if you're not good enough, and then you're off on the streets again. Okay, so it's really important that you find a good guide. All right. So that's why I want you in the challenge next week. I think it will be great for you. Now, you have it's almost 7:00 Central Standard Time. You have a little less than 5 hours to sign up, or you have to miss out. Okay. So sign up, get your ticket. Do what you need to do. As my mentor tells me, it's never a problem of resources. It's a problem of resourcefulness. So figure it out. Like, I got to work. All right, well, here's the deal. The challenges start if for VIP, starts at 9 a.m. For general admission, starts at 10. The recordings of the challenge will be up for 24 hours. I know you don't work 24 hours in a day. Nobody does. You got to sleep. You got to eat. You got to poop. You got to do all these things. So if you got to work during the challenge, but the only way you stop working that job, which you may not like, so that you can do a job that you do like the one we're talking about, is you got to make sacrifices. So maybe you have to put your Netflix or Hulu or whatever binge on hold for a week or so. Because every day that I finish the challenge at 11 Central, the recordings will be up until the next day before the challenge starts. So you have time to go watch and do the homework of the challenge. There's no excuse. Like, you can do it. And then you'll come back ready the next day to layer on the next bit of knowledge. Okay? All right. I am going to go spend time with my beautiful bride because we've both been working all day and we haven't seen each other. So we're going to go chill out, watch a movie, have some wine, whatever. All right. And hopefully I will see you in the challenge tomorrow. All right. Very good. Y'all take care. Bye-bye. Sam, is it only available this week? Yes. I don't know. You're talking about future challenges? Yeah, I do challenges in the future, but each challenge is different. Why put off for tomorrow what you can do today? Or in this case, next week. Price may change, curriculum might change, all kinds of things may change. When you are thinking about this as a career, I think you have to frame it like this. When you are looking at changing, making the leap into owning your own firm or going up in a firm or all these different things, opportunities happen like this. You have prepared for something, and then the door or the window, whatever analogy you want to use, opens. What you don't want is your unpreparedness to meet an open opportunity, or your preparedness to meet a closed door or window. You want an open opportunity, open door, open window, and your preparedness. So when you see both of those things happening, seize the opportunity. Now, in this particular case, the window or the door is open. Like, I've just opened it. Now, you have to make the decision on, I'm not prepared. If you're not, then you're not. And you just wait till you're prepared. Mentally, physically, all the things. But if you're prepared and the door is open, what are you waiting on? Why are you asking when the next one is? Like, you're prepared. The door's open. Walk through. You never know what's going to happen. Like, I'll do it in September. Okay. I'll do it in August. Okay. I'm just saying. I have never regretted when I was prepared and when the door was open that I walked through. Now, what I have regretted, and I've had a lot of them in my 48 years, is when I was prepared and the door was open and I didn't walk through. That's what I've regretted. So I don't want you to live with that, sir. Hopefully that wasn't too heavy for Sunday. All right, Sam. Drive safely, man. All right. Ajane, we would love to see you. All right. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.